What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just out of this world, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old moon. Sidebar, Cancer, I was actually walking with the moon the other day. There were stars around. It was actually pretty fantastic. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in. It was happened to me when the moon was in Gemini, which we're going to talk about in a second. And when she's going void of course, there's all of those lunar shenanigans, Cancer. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, never force a reading on the situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Alright, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great angel around here, Cancer. In Cancer, happy Moon Day. It's Monday. Hope you're feeling intuitive. Maybe getting some housework done. Just doing all things intuitive. They're connecting with the moon there, Cancer. And this is the perfect, really, energy to connect with the moon, Cancer, because she's going void of course today. And the moon will be going void of course at about... Oh, all right, well, thank you. Hold on, Cancer. Appreciate spirit guides. But yeah, the moon will be going void of course at about 3:39 p.m. and that'll be Eastern time. And then she'll be moving from Gemini into our sign Cancer at about 4:50 p.m. So we're looking at about a 1 hour and 11-minute void of course time there. And look at that 111 in that fantastic Cancer, a little auspicious there. But with the void of course energy, this is what happens when the moon forms her final aspect in a sign, and then she just sort of goes off. And I want to say I read something on one of my apps as they described it as the moon just goes and wanders. Where she wanders to, I really do think that we need to get some eyes on that. But it's fine. For the moment, we're just going to excuse her. And this is a really great time considering that there's no more energies that are being formed with those aspects. It's a time for us to kind of check in with our energies there, Cancer, see how we've been affected by those around us, whether this be in just our home environment, maybe in our work environment, even on our commute there, Cancer. You know, I was actually talking with someone the other day. They have a moon in Aries. This is an Aquarius. And she said something to me, and I felt that moon energy. I was just like, and it was just that kind of, she lit up all my Leo placements there for a second. I got this certain, I love Aries energy, but I was just like, oh, there it is. So you'd be surprised, Cancer, how sensitive you really are to the energies when you kind of really tune in, and how others, you know, how you can feel on that level. So pay attention to that. And this is a great energy to just kind of go within, do some deep breathing, do however you do, get into meditative practice. Maybe you're doing some cooking, maybe you're doing some gardening, and just kind of find yourself again, just sort of like hit that reset button and just recharge your energies there, Cancer. Cleanse those energies, maybe doing an Epsom salt bath, or just even being mindful when you're taking a shower. But also too, Cancer, this energy is, you may notice that people may be less likely to make decisions during this time, and that your plans may be also be subject to unexpected changes as well. So just something to keep in mind of. And then with this wax and gibbous energy that's happening in Gemini, Cancer, you know that we're almost at that full moon phase that will happen in a couple of days there. And with this moon that's happening in Gemini, Gemini is a very intellectual sign. You know, they're very curious. They're all about exchanging ideas and things. So this can be really a great energy for you to take what you've been learning about yourself and the practices that you've been, whatever it is you've been working on. Maybe you've been getting a new walking routine. Maybe you've been looking up different, like changing your diet. I don't mean like going on a diet. I mean like maybe incorporating more healthier foods into your your diet or whatever that may be looking like, and kind of being curious is like maybe exchanging ideas with some others as far as like what they may do in this thing. Maybe they have a certain way of their walking, or maybe they do like however this may be looking their Cancer. But also I feel like being that flexible in our thinking as well. It's just like, have we been doing things maybe like one type of way there, and just like maybe try like maybe we're trying like walking with like a group there, Cancer, possibly, or maybe even like the way that we're going about it. We're just kind of spitballing here, Cancer. But this is a great energy for you to, yeah, just to get to gather more information as far as what you're doing. A good energy for socializing as far as like talking with this. Maybe we're jumping on maybe like a forum possibly, or whatever that may be looking like there, Cancer, and just seeing how we can just kind of add on to this there, Cancer. Very lovely energy with this waxing gibbous and Gemini energy. And then last little bit, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But also down below are some links for some really wonderful readers there, Cancer. I think you really enjoy their insights, so definitely go show them some love. I have links for them all down in that description box. I feel like I gotta look. I feel like there's another way to add people as well. I gotta do some sit down there. I actually kind of freed up some time there, Cancer, so I'm gonna start really kind of editing some things on the channel here too. So stay tuned for that. Also, there's some links for some astrologers that I like watching as well there, Cancer. I think you'd enjoy them. And then some links for some apps that I like working with as well. So definitely check that out, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day here, which since we're talking about that full moon energy. But we have this one's not in Leo. We have the full moon in Scorpio energy here, Cancer, and this is a card of break through the tension. And breathe through the tension there, Cancer. And I feel with this energy, when you find yourself going through this thing, and whatever it is that you're working on during each of the lunar cycles there, Cancer, and whenever you do find moments of tension where things may get a little intense, maybe you're having trouble balancing things out there, or maybe we find that we have to maybe make some adjustments and things, I feel like it's not allowing that to throw you off, or trying to to stay calm in a sense, because sometimes I feel like, let's say we've been on like a little hot streak with our walking, for example, then we happen to miss a day because maybe you're just not feeling that energy that day. Maybe you had to work real late the night before. Maybe you're just feeling just kind of drained that day. And I feel like it's one of those things where sometimes when we break that cycle, we can have a hard time getting back on there, and then we're just sort of give up in a sense. But I feel like it's, especially if you do find yourself maybe in sort of like an overwhelmed type of energy, trying to balance this with everything else that you're doing, sit with that tension for a moment. Understand that energy there, and see where, and understand. I feel like it's like being curious with this Gemini energy there, as far as to why is this kind of feeling this way, where it is, where we being, I feel like it's like, what are some things that we're being real rigid on, and maybe we're having troubles or things that we're having, how do I want to put this? Things that we may be holding on to in a sense, or where we again could be a little more flexible, a little more adaptable there. And I feel like it's like once we can gain that sense of calm through this tension there, that's where the power comes in with Scorpio. We go through those intense times, we face those adversities, and then we do come out at the other end a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser. So but let me get some tear on this energy here, Cancer, and get some details with this. Cancer. Thank you, spirits. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting, Cancer. Alright, so you have the Page of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Ace of Wands here, Cancer. And let's start with the Seven of Cups here. Because I feel that, you know, when I feel like sometimes when we find ourselves in these states of tension there, Cancer, that's when I like how this woman has this cups kind of coming all out of her mind here. I feel like that's when I feel like the Seven of Cups is giving me almost like this flood of energy that's coming through there when we feel that emotional type of overwhelm, or where we're feeling this anxiety here with the Nine of Swords, as far as like maybe we're, and as I'm getting these like kind of pervasive thoughts in a sense that are like with this like the Page of Swords and the Nine of Swords here, where it's just like we're kind of cracking under the pressure here. You know, we feel that it's just like this is too much. You know, maybe that this was a bad idea. We start doubting whether this was the right type of call here to kind of utilize our energies, and then we're just like, you know what, well, maybe I should just go back to what I was doing. You know, everything was fine, just being a sort of like a same old type of energies there, Cancer. But I feel that the Four of Swords there again is inviting us to take a moment and rest. You know, maybe this can be an energy where you need to take a day off. You know, there are some times, and listen, Cancer, I'm a huge one when it comes to routines. Like even where like my progress chart is, like I'm in a lot of Virgo energy, but just in general, like I have some stuff in the sixth house, and routines are like especially Saturn. It's fine. It's all about the growth, but I can know where I can be sometimes. I can feel so rigid and very set in my ways, and then when I'm not able to do something, you can get in that type of spiral energy there, Cancer. And I feel that with the Seven of Cups, that sometimes this can be, I'm getting this like illusory type of energy here, where we kind of create these ideas where it's just like everything, we have to do this thing perfectly, or we have to do this by the, you know, everything has to fall in order there, and if we don't, then we just sort of like give up in a sense. But I feel that this is even through your routine sometimes, or whatever this is that you're starting off, sometimes you do need to take a break from that. I feel with the Four of Swords there, and I feel like kind of process how this stuff has been a positive influence on you there, Cancer, and how this energies have kind of opened more doors for you. I even feel with the Seven of Cups being here, but really kind of finding the source of how we can like alleviate, because it's not, the Nine of Swords can be intense. This is one of Gemini's cards. This is Mars in Gemini, and that's interesting too when we're thinking about that, because that can be where, you know, where I'm almost getting like a desperate type of energy where we start like, okay, well, this one thing didn't work, so we just start getting in that sort of like low expression of Gemini, where we're just sort of like scattered and just like all over the place, and just like doing all the things to try to, with the Seven of Cups here, to try to alleviate this energy here, Cancer, and getting in almost like this, I'm almost picturing like a desperate type of energy. And again, I feel like that's where we need to pause for a moment. It's like there's no need to panic, you know, just breathe through this tension. Sit with those energy, understand this surge of maybe intense emotions that are coming in there. And I feel that once we are able to get our minds in that calm state, maybe go step outside, Cancer, you know, maybe go connect with the earth, go get grounded, you know, take your shoes and socks off and just kind of sit in nature. Maybe this is staring up at the moon, maybe this is just maybe sitting under a tree there, Cancer, whatever this may be kind of looking like. Any ways that we can just sort of calm the energies again. Maybe do some cooking, you know, maybe even just take a nap. And then just kind of let the energies, I feel like with the Ace of Wands, kind of reset in a sense. Just whenever you feel where these challenges and things are getting a little tough there, Cancer. So I think I'm going to leave that there. Maybe potentially a lot to think about, but I feel like just something to, yeah, to not try not to get overwhelmed with Cancer, and understand that that stuff kind of happens sometimes. And you know, there's no problem, I feel like, if you're if you need to carry this over into the next lunar cycle, that's totally fine. There's no, I feel like there's no saying like you have to get this done this lunar cycle, or it's just done, and then you have to move on to the next thing. You can repeat this stuff as many times as you need to, Cancer, until it works. Gemini, trying new things, learning different stuff, so something to think about, Cancer. But let's get some more on this. And I feel breath work is a very key one that really helps us bring us back into the present, to understand where those fears and anxieties are coming through there, Cancer. So that's another kind of important thing. We literally breathe all the time, but how often are we mindful of that breath that's going on there? And it's an amazing way to kind of anchor your energy. Absolutely. Queen of Swords to get some clarity. Thank you, spirits. Let's see what else is going on here, Cancer. Oh, there's Capricorn and our ruler. There she is. I'm with it, Cancer. So you have the lovely High Priestess. There's Capricorn, the Devil. No, nothing against Capricorn. Libra, the Justice card, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Swords here. A lot of Libra energy here. And, sometimes I'm just thinking with Libra, just being the scales. Sometimes that energies can kind of get us thrown out of whack there, Cancer. But I feel like the Justice card can be this card of cause and effect. And I feel like when we understand the cause of this tension, then we can assuage the effect. Maybe again, we need to just kind of tweak some things. I feel like this is where we really need to listen to our intuition as far as like when you get into those states, it's like, okay, spirits, what do I need to do at this moment? I had a moment where I was doing something and I was trying to force this thing, and it really kind of got me in my head. I mean, luckily I didn't have the time to really have like an effective spiral. I really wanted to go for it, but it was late. I was feeling sleep deprived, and I wanted to do some meditation because that's something I do meditations before these readings, but I really wanted to get more in depth with that, be more mindful with it, and be more intentional with it. But I went to go kind of consult with my intuition and things, and they were just kind of like, go to bed, like you're good for the day. And then I listened to my guides, and the next day everything was fine there, Cancer. But I feel with the Devil being here that this is that tension, and I feel too sometimes with the Devil and the Seven of Cups here, both of these cards can give me this kind of like escapist energy sometimes. And I feel when we get in those energies of tension, then we kind of, I feel like that's when we sort of dip back into old type of like maybe ways of dealing with things, whether this be through substances or whether this be through food, or maybe this is through people, or however it is that we, maybe through video games, wherever it is that we may. The Devil is like that overindulgence type of energy, things that we surrender our authority to. And I feel like that stuff can cloud your energy there, Cancer. But I feel that also too with the Queen of Swords, and even like this Ten of Cups energy, like this is, I feel the Ten of Cups is remembering the thing that you wanted to set out to be, the wish that you wanted to come true, and then finding effective ways to fill up your cup, in a sense. Fill up these cups so that they're keeping you on the trajectory of that wish fulfilled with this Ten of Cups energy. And I feel even too, when you find yourself in this energies, Cancer, I'm just thinking with Libra, the Justice card as well. This could be maybe sharing some of these thoughts and these ideas maybe with someone. Maybe kind of walking through this stuff. Hearing these vibrations out loud sometimes, and sometimes having a sounding board can kind of help bring a different perspective. Or this could even be one thing that I just heard. I want to say I was listening to this on a podcast where when I was stuff. I've been really kind of deep in podcasts here lately. It's been kind of fantastic. And I was listening to someone who was mentioning, I like journaling, and that's something I've been getting back into as well. That's been very, very cathartic. But they had even said when you find yourself like in those or and they didn't talk about this moment, but this could be where you write about this moment and then you read back what you wrote just to hear, maybe that anxiety, that fear, that stuff, and it's just like, oh, I really am kind of caught in this spiraling energy here. How can I break that cycle and get clarity on where this thing is coming from? Learn how to embrace what the devil really is trying to teach us there, to get our sense of authority back, to and I feel like, because Capricorn, they're a hardworking sign. They're ones that they're the achievers of the zodiac, and I feel like it's, finding that foundation again. I feel with this devil energy here, or with Capricorn, devil energy here, Cancer. So, and again, listen to your intuition. When it's time, when it feels like it's time, things are becoming too much, and maybe the energies are telling you to take a break, or whatever it is your instincts are telling you. To follow that energy there, Cancer. So I love that. Love when the High Priestess comes through there. But let's get some advice from Mercury here, Cancer. It's all these lovely ladies coming out here. Here's my other Empress. That's quite a contrast. Alright, Cancer. Last little bit here. Alright, so you have the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the World card, and then the lovely Empress there, Cancer. And let's switch back over. Because I feel with this energy there, Cancer. Because one thing, just thinking with this energy, because when the moon, with the moon being in Gemini, depending on when you're watching this, Cancer, Mercury is in, the dispositor of this moon is Mercury, who happens to be in Capricorn right now. And Saturn rules over Capricorn. And I'm just like, sometimes I feel like these challenges and things can be very Saturn. They can be those energies where Saturn really asks a lot of us. It's hard work sometimes when we're working towards these things. It's not just all, even though we're working towards this energy of feeling more abundant, really kind of broadening our horizons here. There are times where we feel kind of down and out there, Cancer, with the Five of Pentacles, where we feel this energy of, like, the Ten of Wands can be this pressure that's really kind of pushing down on us, and it can feel like it's restricting us. But really what these energies are trying to do is change you. It's like when you think about this tension, it's like when you make a diamond, you're putting all that pressure on there, sure, and that can be intense, but that transformation that comes through there, you become this brilliant diamond, this brilliant Empress there, Cancer. And I do feel too that this is with the Empress, it is when you find yourselves in those energies of tension, to take a moment and just do some self-care, to kind of step back from what you're doing and just kind of reassess with what's going down. Why am I feeling this energy of stress? Why am I feeling this, whatever this is, this heaviness, and then turning that into this strength there, Cancer. And I feel like because I feel like with the World card, this is something that, even when we go through the world, we start over all again as the Fool. And I feel like whatever these insecurities are, or these challenges, they don't ever really go away, but they do. I feel like they become less heavy, with this Ten of Wands as things goes on. The period of time that you're in, that kind of spiraling energy, that window starts to get a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, until you've got it to where it comes up and you're just like, oh, tension, okay, it's about that time to kind of push there, like where it becomes a little more, it becomes a motivator, as opposed to something that I feel like is taking away from you here with the Five of Pentacles here, Cancer. So yeah, when in doubt, Cancer, just take a moment, breathe for a second, breathe for a few, maybe even a few minutes there, and just kind of find yourself again, and just like, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now, and this is not permanent. This will pass. Just like how the lunar cycles waxes and wanes, this thing energy will pass here, Cancer. So with that, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. That was brilliant. So if you like that, Cancer, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if you know someone who's been having trouble through whatever this tension is, whatever this things when we feel like things are, when we kind of get in our heads in a sense, or, we start to dip back into old ways of being, or however this may be translating, Cancer, definitely share this, kind of help you. I feel like who better to understand what cancers go through with this fluctuations of emotions and things than other cancerians that are cancer. Let's lift each other up there. Actually, there's another reader that she started doing, and I like that too, that just started doing, kind of focusing on cancerian energy, because we can be a very complex energy, kind of a bit of a conundrum sometimes, but then subscribe there, High Priestess. Powerful, intuitive. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week or each day. And that's a little bit there, Cancer. Check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus placements for your readings there. But check your chart, Cancer. Understand your Mercury, how you think. Your Saturn placement, where you notice that you have restrictions in, because that's a big one too there, Cancer, to understand where you may see some challenges there. Because again, mine's in the 6th house, so daily routines, checking up with health, holistic ways of working with stuff. But it's been dope. The more you understand it there, Cancer. And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos, monthly ones, yearly ones. I actually just did Aquarius's not too long ago, and it's a good old time. And their yearly one. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Cancer, so I can get you out of here. You got the Four of Pentacles here, Cancer. And I feel the Four of Pentacles is a really great energy of grounding. And I feel like the Four of Pentacles can be like this energy of savings in a sense. And I feel like it's when you find yourself in this kind of stressed out energy, it's finding a moment again and just kind of grounding yourself. Seeing all the things that you have, all the growth that you have gone through so far, all the changes that you have done, and understanding too that I feel like it's like when you understand these processes, like, okay, this is just a part of the journey, these tensions, this is normal, to feel these, kind of feel like there's this stuff that's going against us, but it doesn't have to define this energy. We may not be able to control a situation, but we can control how we feel about it, Cancer, and we're experts when it comes to our feelings. So, the more that you work on that. But let me go ahead and get your other oracle card here, Cancer, so I can get you out of here. Oh, Cancer, I love it. Thank you, spirits. And look at that, Cancer. I just told you we're expert with emotions. And look at that, we got the water magic card here, Cancer. And I feel with this water magic, it's interesting. I will say, just because we were talking about with the devil, and even that, because the Seven of Cups for me can be like a prelude to a devil moment. You see this cat here that's kind of dipping into this fish bowl, kind of playing around with this fish. I just feel like, again, be mindful of temptations, because it can be, when things get tough, what is that thing that you go to? That thing that I don't mean, again, like, it's one thing if we have these healthy practices, Cancer, but we have something that tends to lower our vibration, that's something, a lower of expression of ourselves that really kind of dim our energies. It's understanding that, and I feel like again, sitting with these emotions and understanding them, and not trying to get to this place where they're not overwhelming you, but you just start to work with the flow of that. I like, what? Because I feel like these feelings here, like this, whatever, even this tension that may be coming out of, let's say this tension that's coming out of this dolphin, she's getting this cup of water from it, and it's just like, what knowledge can we drink from that? Because it's not, again, something that is keeping us down. This is something that is trying to build us up, that's trying to turn us into a diamond there, Cancer. But I do feel like that it is, again, sitting with that, listening to your intuition and understanding the source of that, adding this to your repertoire there, you know, and so that these feelings don't catch you off guard as much, because yes, you know, we are a sensitive sign, but sensitivity doesn't have to be a weakness. It can become a strength when we can become more receptive as opposed to just being sensitive, Cancer, and working with those energy and understanding the signals and what that means. So I love that, Cancer. And I love that you got this water magic with this Scorpio full moon there, even though we're not in Scorpio full moon, but it's fine. Details. But stay safe out there, Cancer. With this tension and stuff, you know, we're getting towards this full moon there. And, you know, this might be a lot, you know, because when we get to this full moon energy, you may already be feeling this, Cancer, because technically, you know, one of your chart rulers is the moon, being that your sun sign, especially if your sun sign or either your sun sign or your rising sign, if it's in Cancer, the moon is involved with what you're doing. So lunar cycles are very important for you, Cancer. So yeah, stay safe. I was like, why did I get on that topic? Who knows? They're Cancer. And keep eyes on the moon. You know, since we were just talking about that. Oh, because I was talking about this water energy. No, that's fine. But, see, I'm all up in my Gemini energy. I'm a little all over the place there, Cancer. But, and because that's where my moon placement is, and I understand that about myself. I'm working on getting more focus there. It's a daily process. But I will catch you, Cancer, on the next one. Oh, I was talking about the Leo full moon. That's why I was bringing that up. It might be a lot going on there, Cancer. Silliness. Tomorrow.